Halo, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Zahira Ankiprita. So I want to do my literary reading this week. The title is the implementations of the Cambridge Lower Secondary English Curriculum. Teacher voice at one private school in Palembang. So let me begin. English has become a subject that is taught to the student at school. From Johnson defined that there are various reasons for learning foreign language, which are for study purpose, adapting to the new culture of the country in which some live, for international communication with people from different countries, and for international communications with people from within their country. The learning process consists of the supporting materials and strategy. And then several kinds of research on the implementation of Cambridge curriculum have been conducted. One of the study was conducted by Prativi, which identified the practice of English language teaching using Cambridge primary curriculum in Sekolah Dasar Kristen Kalam, Surakarta. The finding revealed that the difference with this study was that teaching and learning approach followed the principle of meta-connections and active learning. As the pre-mentally students, which as conduct, for that we interview a teacher of English of SAS, and we found that in primary school, Cambridge only used for the test of the end and the level of the stage, whilst is called Cambridge primary checkpoints. However, SCAs has been the Cambridge curriculum in teaching English because Cambridge is a great curriculum in the world. Therefore, students were expected to be ready for writing the word by complete the they had. Second, for the implemented Cambridge, SES prepared teacher in order to take part in the training for adopt and follow the Cambridge lower secondary English literature and from work in the teaching. Third, by implementing Cambridge curriculum, students were interested in the learning. And the teacher preparations are important to the study. Perception is an emotional or intellectual action toward regarding something or someone. Consequently, or unconsciously, we judge person, things, or even throughout our life. In curriculum, there are so many things that must be consist of objectives or aims, teaching method and activities in the learning process, and assessment for students. Defines curriculum as something that includes the process that are used to intermediate the needs of the group in learners. Curriculum allows administration to provide a dynamic educational program for current and prospective students. So, and the Cambridge curriculum in our secondary school. This is a Cambridge lower secondary means that the Cambridge curriculum is for the students who are still in 12 and until 15 years. For English subject, his subject foster in lifetime love of reading, writing, and speaking. It gives students transferable language abilities for analyzing and generating spoken and written materials, as well as collaborative work. It also encourages student confidence, creativity, and intellectual currency. And then the teacher attribution in Cambridge secondary English curriculum. So this is their comparison that shall be have for teacher and studying in using Cambridge curriculum. And then in the point, some pre-words and they describe the first study when conducted by Kusmawati in title is implementasi kurikulum Cambridge dalam pembelajaran Rafasa Inggris, which has similar theory that focus on the discriminants implementations and evaluating learning activity by teacher competence. And second, the preferred related study. A study was conducted by Fitria, Suyono, and Rohman on the implementation of the Cambridge curriculum at SD Islam Creative Mutiara Anak Soleh has similar strengths implemented to our study. We got the methodology. There is a qualitative research with a case study approach was selected in order now, such as Panamon daily with the teacher represents and towards in the implementation of Combrex's lower secondary English curriculum and one private school in Palembang. A case study means that we can explore and understand an issue or problem by using a case. Case means process, activity, or program in life. According to Hamilton and Wither, a case study can emerge a positive pronoun vocabulary of defining conversations in the real world context rather than just presenting contextually space. Furthermore, qualitative research with a case study was used to find out the teacher perceptions. And the data collection and analysis. In collect the data, we use interview for obtaining information for teachers of English. The aim to know their proportions of the implementation of Combrex's lower secondary English curriculum at Singapore Indonesia School SES Palembang. To gain the data, this is a research. We use the interview with punishment. Our interview one as technique in gaining data qualitative research. And for the data analysis, we use the thematic analysis in the study. Griswold defined that there are 6 steps in the thematic analysis, and the step consists of organize and prepare the data, read through all the data, analyze it in detail with the coding process, generate description of the data, represent them in qualitative narrative, and interpret the data. So, in analyzing the teacher perception of the implementation of Combrex's lower secondary English, the research follows some steps. First, we prepare information about in the interview, transcript in it, and took notes of interview materials. Findings: the Thai interview was conducted to find out the teacher perception of implementations of the Combrex's lower secondary English curriculum after gaining the data from interview. So the data was analyzed by using thematic analysis, and the conclusions the evaluation is based on the interview data. We found that then and stage implementation of the curriculum, there was a evaluation based on interview data. We found that on of the stage implementation curriculum there was evaluations. So we got the conclusions based on the thematic analysis. We found there are statement implemented Combrex's lower secondary English curriculum. So the second step was implementation of learning, and the first step was program development. Sorry, I'll get that. And the last, the teacher follows all of the assessment forms. Combrexes the level of Combrex's questions, hanger, thinking other than Indonesian for English assessments. The result of student perform in Combrex's lower secondary English checkpoint in accordance Combrex's and slowly English checkpoint easy, deck about and writing. Okay, that's all. Thank you for your nice attention. And the last, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.